What's going on, everyone? Gilman with the Wellthy Stocks, back with our daily Apple update video where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today, key levels of support and resistance that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Apple stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. So let me go ahead and hit record. We will get right into it. So a small red day for Apple, not kind of out of the ordinary. We talked about that yesterday. We're down $1.11, which is 0.91%. We broke just below the 120 mark to close, but in the after hours we're above the 120. So that's kind of where we are right now. So let's take a look at the indexes real quick. NASDAQ was slightly red on the day. It was choppy, up and down, up and down. Dow Jones was actually doing really well, up 472 points, another 63 points in the after hours, largely led by, I think Boeing was doing super well today. And then the S&P 500 is also up 0.62% and another 0.2% in the after hours. So that is great, news for the overall markets. Not necessarily that, we're pushing along, but that we've kind of settled down. We have smaller green days, right? Smaller green days, smaller red days, kind of normalizing things, not these huge swings that we'd seen in the past couple of weeks. So that's great to see. Let's take a look at Apple stock. So, what I really liked seeing, actually, weirdly enough, was kind of a flat open, right? No huge gap up or down. Pre-market, we try to push up, reaching as high as 122.17, but as you could see right at open we dropped below that level. So here at open we dropped right below, broke through our level, and then when we tried to push up right back up again, we got perfectly rejected at the 121.50 level. And then from that point on it was relative weakness for most of the day, right? So hitting up against VWAP, going down, VWAP, 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 meaning that, we weren't able to go above that VWAP line, meaning we were not able to go above the average price that was paid for today up until that point. That's what I mean by relative weakness. Other than kind of this little chunk here where we came above and then went right down below, we were trading below the VWAP. So not a great trading day for Apple. But if you take a look at the yesterday movement that we saw, it becomes apparent that this was kind of needed for us to have a little bit of profit taking for us to kind of move forward, which is why I'm not worried. Couple things that I want to quickly talk about. So Dow actually hit a record high today, as the inflation fears kind of take a backseat. Not to say they're gone. I think they're just pushed down the line. So that's what we talk about. Another kind of article that I talk about, and the reason I don't have it up is because it's a video, actually, is a CNBC video where they asked two investors, hey, Apple is down 17% from all-time highs. Is it a buy yet? And the first person goes, no, because it's still trading at 25-30x sales. We think that's still overvalued. There's greater opportunities out there. Second investor goes, actually, we think that Apple's a good buy right now because companies don't trade on multiples of sales, right? They trade on other things, and they, talked about a couple other multiples there, but also talked about, iPhone 12 super cycle, talked about how, about 20% of their revenue in the future is going to be based on services and other key things that I've also mentioned on this channel. My point in that is to say that you can make the argument in either case. Is Apple a buy? Is Apple not a buy? For me, Apple is a buy, which is why I remain bullish on Apple. I love the company. I love what it does. I love the growth aspect of the company in the near future. And that's why I'm holding onto my stocks. I'm not expecting crazy returns, right? I'm not expecting to double my money with Apple in a year. But Apple is a stable company with a proven track record where your money's not going to go in the dumpster. That's my belief, right? You get not great dividends, but some dividends along the way, which is why I continue to hold Apple. The other thing I want to talk about from kind of events perspective is Apple has cut production a little bit on the iPhones. I believe it's 20 to 25% in the first half of this year, but they are continuing to keep the iPhone 13 production plans what they were before. So that's a little bit of good news and a little bit of bad news. Bad news, they're cutting it, but here, they're setting a higher target for iPhone 3. So good, a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, kind of evens us out there. So Where do we go from here? RSI is looking a little bit better than it was last week. We're at 39, so a little bit, more on the oversold side than on the overbought side, but not super oversold either. Now let's zoom in here. So as you guys can see, right, Apple for a long time was following this trend, coming back to this line right here, and then we broke below that, and we fell from the kind of 130s all the way down to the 116s. And now it looks like we are starting to finally maybe push back up a little bit. Today is the second day in a row where we've made higher highs and higher lows, although it was a red day for us. Yesterday's high was 122.06, today's high was 122.17. So we beat yesterday's high. We also didn't drop as low as yesterday, which is all positive news. I think that, a lot of this was a little bit of, a sell-off from kind of the movement that we saw yesterday. Yesterday was a monster day for tech, as you guys know. So we saw a little bit of a sell-off, totally normal, totally cool. It's actually healthy that happened rather than us continuing to push up. So where do we go from here? I'm going to quickly cover, support, resistance like we always do. Then I'll kind of share my thoughts on where we're headed. So from a support level perspective, we seem to bounce a little bit before the 119.09 level. We bounced at the 119.45 level today. So that's my first level of support, you guys. And then if we keep dropping, then we've got this 116.99 as another level of support. Let me bring the EMAs out too. And then on the level of resistance, we've got the next level coming in the mid 121s, right? So perfectly where we got rejected at, if you saw my video at the beginning where we got rejected at the beginning of the day, right? We were at 122, we came down, we tried to push up, got rejected at 121.50s. That's the first level, and then 123.69, and then after that we got 126.65. But between the 123.69 and the 126.65, we've got the 89 EMA. As you guys know, we love our EMAs on this channel, which is at 125.29. And that's still kind of the goal that I have for Apple, right? So what do I think is going to happen next? Well, so the stimulus finally got passed today. And as we talked about yesterday, right, people are expecting a large amount of money to move into the markets, which I think could bring a decent amount of buying power, buying pressure, pushing the stocks up. That being said, we still have to see how tech does. Maybe a lot of that goes to like Tesla and Bitcoin rather than, stocks like Apple, because they're a little less exciting, or Apple is a little less exciting is what I'm trying to say. But, we'll see. So my goal for this week, look, if we see a green day tomorrow, I want to see us push towards the 121.50, break through it, make a push towards 123.69, and then depending on how soon we can make a push towards there, hopefully we push towards the 89 EMA at 125.29. Maybe that happens in the next 2 days. Maybe that happens early next week. Either way, that's kind of my first price target. For tomorrow, I'm really hoping we can break this 121.50 and maybe push towards the 123s. But again, it also depends on kind of some things that I'll point out with the overall market, right? Because the market has to do well for Apple to do well as well. So that's what I'm looking at here. Again, 89 EMA is a level that's really crucial. I've talked about it multiple times in my previous videos. Apple typically doesn't stay below this line for too long, and we've been below it for a couple weeks now. So hopefully this is the bottom here, 116s, and we are slowly going to start pushing up. I'm okay with slow moves up as long as we are pushing in the right direction, making higher highs, making higher lows, and pushing up. What I want to talk about with you guys is the S&P 500. And the reason that I want to talk about that real quick is because I've mentioned it recently on my channel, and I will talk about this here. So if you take a look and we go to, let's say, maybe the hourly chart, what we'll see is, we're having a lot of resistance at the at the 390 level. So maybe this isn't the perfect example. Maybe I go to the 5-minute chart and we can see this better. But it struggles a lot to break and stay above the this 390 line right here. So whenever we go above it, we've come right below, then we struggle to get above, then we come right below, then we struggle to get above, then we come right below. And now we're above it in the after hours. I'm hoping that holds and we make a push towards the 392 level. As you can see, we closed below the 390s. We closed in 389.58, pushing up in the after hours. So hopefully we can clear that. We can push towards 392 on the S&P 500, clear that. Because I think that really sets us up for, okay, the market is going to start going up. Until then, I'm still a little uncertain. Not to say that I don't think the market's going to start pushing up, but I kind of want that confirmation. That's going to be my okay, we're you know, looking good right now. So that's what I'm hoping for, and as a result, if it pushes up, breaks 390, 392, I'm looking for Apple to also push up into kind of the mid 120s as that happens. Really 123 first, and then hopefully up from there towards the 125 and the 89 EMA. So that's what I'm looking at, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your week. We're all more than halfway there. It's been a better week than last week for sure, and the week before that, that was a lot of red. Starting to see some green again, which is definitely promising in the way we want to move. So that's all I have for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to my channel, comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.